Hi, I'm Tyler, founder of Cozy Earth. When you're thinking about the perfect gift, what better way to show your loved ones that you care than by giving them something that helps them feel better, sleep better, and add superior luxury to their everyday life? If you sleep in our sheets for 100 nights and don't absolutely love your experience, we'll refund your money. No questions asked. This year, give the gift of Cozy Earth. Once they try it, they'll never go back.
Use code Spotify at CozyEarth.com and save up to 40%. That's CozyEarth.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. There's plenty to be thankful for. Your friends, family, and the fact that you can now get NFL Sunday Ticket for only $89. So thank yourself this holiday season and watch every game every Sunday when you bundle NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up now at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Offer ends December 2nd. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games. Excludes digital-only games. Terms and embargoes apply.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run, the Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart us on something you said, chime in on the conversation at 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied to first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but some games I still want to go to, some concerts, all of that stuff. So go ahead, create that account. Make sure you use that code, The Run Podcast. Save yourself $20 there when you go to your next event. And speaking of events, some crazy things been going on, and part of me genuinely hates that I'm about to give this team some respect here. But I got to give credit where it's due. And the Ravens, they fell short to the Philadelphia Eagles the other night, man. They lost 24-19. And the thing with this game is the Ravens were at home. They were in Baltimore with this game here. Philly was on the road. A lot of people was doubting Philly, including myself. But, man, I hate to hype Philadelphia fans' head up even more than what it is. The Eagles fans' head, I just know, man, it's crazy. But I got to give credit, man. They did their thing. Philly balled out. Ravens did not do so hot. They didn't do so well in this game. And, I say for this one here, this was a test game for a lot of people on the schedule, especially Eagles fans who've been, dealing with a lot of character issues of, this team doesn't play anybody. They don't have any competition. They've been playing these easy, weak teams. They got lucky when they played against the Commanders. They fell apart. Like the team that's been dealing with a lot of excuses that every time they beat their opponent, they hear some more and more excuses about why they're illegitimate. So, this game against the Ravens, literally the number one offense in the NFL in total yards versus the number one defense in yards allowed. It was magnificent to watch. And, a lot of people, they want to give the glory to Saquon Barkley and they want to give the glory to Jalen Hurts. And those guys are spectacular. They've been playing great. They're at an MVP level, which is why they're both considered MVP candidates right now. But the secret sauce within this Eagles team is really that defense, man. That defense is like that. That defensive front, the secondary, the linebackers, that defense, Eagles, is nice right now, man. Because in situations where the offense is stagnant, that's where we really see that Philadelphia Eagles defense step up and keep the other team at pace, where they cannot score, they cannot get ahead by much in points. They had 24 pressures against Lamar Jackson in the Ravens the other day. They sacked Lamar Jackson 3 times for 31 yards yesterday. And the Ravens, they had more possession time, but the Eagles, they still kept those guys below their average amount in total yards. But the most impressive thing here is that they held the Ravens to 12 points. 12 points the entire game. Crazy. It was a crazy game here. And obviously we know the Ravens ended up with 19, but that last touchdown, that was garbage minutes. It was garbage time where they ended up finding the end zone again. So, the thing with the Eagles is, like, you can say whatever you want about them not being legitimate, the competition they've been facing, how great Saquon Barkley is, how great Jalen Hurts is, or their flaws. Say all of those things that you want, but it comes down to the Eagles. They tackle well, they defend well, and they're very, very diverse on defense. They stand strong. They're physical at the line of scrimmage. They're physical in the secondary without getting penalties. And that's something that's truly helping this Eagles defense here. And I mean, man, did y'all see? Like, did you see how Cooper DeJean laid out Derrick Henry, bro? Like, come on, man. Come on. This was just beautiful football. It was beautiful football on both sides of the ball. I mean, Saquon Barkley did his part, obviously, as we know, but it was just beautiful football all around, man. Like, the tackle specifically, Cooper DeJean, man, he laid Derrick Henry out. We know what kind of running back Derrick Henry is. Straight power back. The man doesn't go down off of one hit. He doesn't go down off of one tackle. You need at least 2 or 3 people to try and bring him down to stop the football. Cooper DeJean laid him out, caught him on the screen, on a little a pass to the flats, ran up to him, scooped him up, and then dropped him on his back. It was beautiful to watch. It was football. It was football. These are the type of football moments you don't really get in this day and age of the football. You see what happened to Trevor Lawrence in that Jaguars game versus the Texans. They tried to, they wanted to crucify my guy who hit Trevor Lawrence. And I'm like, he's just playing football at the end of the day. So watching what the Eagles were doing, that was just beautiful football there on Sunday. And honestly, man, they earned a lot of respect out of me and a lot of the trash that I've talked and said about the Eagles and the doubts that I've had, man, it really made me rethink about all of those doubts because this team, the way they looked in week 13 against the Ravens, they looked like the best team in football, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And again, I hate that I'm saying this because I know Philadelphia Eagles fans don't know how to act. They're going to take this and just assume they're going to the Super Bowl no matter who they got to face when there's still some competition in the NFC. So, oh my gosh, I can't stand the Ravens that they really making me talk about the Eagles like this. And as a matter of fact, the Ravens, they got a whole part on their own where they need to just get better, man, because this isn't the performance you want to see if you're a Ravens fan. This performance just kind of sums up the entire season of what we've seen from the Ravens so far, just being a very inconsistent team. The Ravens have been fairly inconsistent this entire season. Every time they play someone where it's supposed to be good competition, we see them completely crumble. We see them fall apart. They won 2 of their last 4 games total. And what we've been watching is a Ravens team who looks tremendous at times and also a Ravens teams who look like they need help. And that's what we've been watching all season for the Ravens, man. The offense, sometimes they can get going, sometimes they can't. Sometimes guys can catch, sometimes they can't. The defense, oh yeah, they can stop you. They'll be present, but also they'll blow some coverages here and there. They'll miss some tackles here and there. But that's just it, man. If the Ravens, if they're supposed to be, the dominant team of the AFC North, which they are not, as a matter of fact, for those who are wondering, they are not the dominant team in the NFC North like we thought they were going to be. Anybody who was thinking that about the Ravens completely went down the drain. Steelers have been the top dog. Ravens are not even there. We talk about, which teams can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Definitely not looking like the Ravens to do that. It's looking like, can the Steelers actually scoop up some luck and beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Can they stop the Buffalo Bills if you're cheering for a team out of the AFC North? It's definitely not the Ravens. So that's my bone to pick with them. But above all, it was a beautiful game. Beautiful game. Thanks to Philly. Making it look great, making it look effortless, making it just look flawless, man. And, great performance all around from an aspect of watching football. Watching football, it was great to watch. You got a lot of different things that you got to enjoy in the game of football from looking there, whether it's from the defensive line, the secondary, the linebackers, the offensive line, the offense, quarterback play, receive. You got a lot of different dynamics of football that you really had the chance to enjoy watching the Eagles playing 13 in week 13. Crazy. Crazy. All right, look, well, we got to keep moving on, man. Some more stuff. Actually, the favorite part of the show, man, we got some voicemail calls that we're going to tap into in just a sec. We're going to take a quick break and then come back with the voicemail calls and also some news that you have to hear around the NFL and college football. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. We'll take a quick break. Maybe it's halftime because we'll jump straight into the news. So actually, it's halftime.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write a million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
All right, man, so let's do it. The most exciting part of the show, at least for me, I genuinely enjoy this part the most, especially when people call in and they got something good to say. So the voicemail line, that's what time it is, man. We're going to open up the voicemails. We got some good ones here, but just in case you want to go ahead, comment on one of the voicemails, comment on something I may have said or something you heard later on in the episode, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. So let's get it started, man. Here's the first voicemail we have. Let's do it.
Yes, Rocco Choa here.
Rocco, what's good?
I just want to say that this year, there is no fucking way those Chiefs are 3-P'd. And the Black Friday football this week against the LA Raiders, that's going to show them because I think they're going to pull out an upset. And I think, unfortunately, as a Raider fan, that's going to be our last win of the season. But I think that loss and their strength of victory is not going to give the Chiefs that number one spot. And they're going to have to play some road games. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to freaking whoop their ass in the AFC Championship. Anyways, that's my prediction. Goodbye. Please put this on your podcast.
I got you, Rocco. Anytime you call up here, I'm going to put it on the podcast. Don't even worry about that. But man, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. So anybody who's listening, to give some context, he was talking about the Raiders in the Chiefs game. This game, it happened Friday night. Friday night football was a new thing that they rolled out this season. Chiefs played the Raiders. He left his voicemail before the game, and man, this is rough. This is rough because the Raiders didn't win this game. He mentioned no way the Chiefs win. This might be the last win of the season for the Raiders. But that did not happen. Chiefs ended up winning this game 19-17, and it came down to the wire, just kind of a fluke flag call where they could have chose either option of the penalty, but they chose the penalty that would give the Chiefs the ball rather than continuing to give the Raiders another possession. So it's just another way the Chiefs ended up just having a fluke win. But man, the Raiders here, it pretty much demonstrated why the Chiefs have a fair shot at three-peating. I know you said, Rocco, that you don't want them to three-peat. There's no way in hell they three-peat, but it demonstrated why the three-peat is possibly going to go in their favor because all of these close games that happen, the Chiefs end up winning. For those of you who don't know, the Chiefs have won 14 consecutive one-possession games. 14 of them. Do you know how many consecutive games that is? That's far too many to win a one possession game. And every time it's going in the Chiefs' favor? No, that's just ridiculous. And statistics like that I mean, a lot of it is on the ref. A lot of it is on the Chiefs because they know how to win games. But damn it, man, this is ridiculous. It's crazy. I was hoping for the Raiders to win this game, but it was just a change of plans, obviously, from what you had hoped for and a lot of other Raiders fans hoped for. But, man, Chiefs, they can't seem to lose at the end of a game when it has to be decided, whether somebody's missing a field goal, whatever the case is. And Raiders, this is a team who needed the win more than anybody. I mean, they lost 9 of their last 10 games, 8 straight losses. And man, this was the game they could have won. They play the Buccaneers and the Falcons in the following weeks. I don't know if they'll win those games. Maybe because the Falcons have been so wishy-washy. I hate that they've been that bad. That's another story for another day. But man, change of plans for the Raiders. They were supposed to win this game, or at least it was supposed to have one last opportunity for a field goal kick, and they didn't even get the opportunity. It was just wild, man. And this is just another reason of why the Kansas City Chiefs are one of the most hated teams in the NFL. That's what it comes down to. All right, look, we got another voicemail. Let's go ahead and play it here. This was also a good one we had. Here you go. Let's do it.
This is Mark. I saw your TikTok about
what's the deal, Mark?
Stop the Chiefs from doing a three-peat.
In
my opinion, any of them. They were playing like shit this season. How do you sit there, win a game against the Panthers, which are the punching bag of the NFL, and only beat them by 3 points?
That's facts. That's wild, man. That's wild.
That's just my take. So, yeah, I'm saying any of them. And the only reason they haven't lost every game this season is because of the refs. So, yeah. Right. That's all. Bye.
This is facts, man. Look, so first off, Mark, man, appreciate you for calling, of course. And this is facts. I agree with you. I 1,000% agree with you. For a big reason the Chiefs are 11-1 right now is because of what the referees have been allowing them to get away with. You go all the way back in the beginning of the season. I know you mentioned the Panthers, but another NFC South team that should have beat the Chiefs was the Atlanta Falcons. You look at way earlier in the season when they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs, no pass interference call. You look at way earlier when they played the Baltimore Ravens, they called out of bounds in literally the first week of the season. That was just the luck that the Chiefs have starting off the season. Touchdown pass on a game-winning drive. Nope, out of bounds. Doesn't count. Chiefs win. Crazy. You fast forward all the way down to present time. They played the Carolina Panthers, one of the worst teams. Actually, probably the worst team in the NFL other than the New York Giants. But this is a team who, like you said, has been a punching bag week after week for NFL teams. But yet they gave the Chiefs a battle and didn't even win because of a field goal. It's just crazy. Like, the way the Chiefs are winning these games is ridiculous. And any of you Chiefs fans out there who watch these games and you just are in denial about how the Chiefs are winning them, you have some problems. You need to get looked at. You need to talk to a specialist. You need to talk to someone to really help fix your mind. Because if you're genuinely watching these Chiefs games and you're seeing how they're ending, you're seeing how the Chiefs win, and you just really believe that they're playing good football or they're beating other teams because they're so good, oh yeah, you have problems, bro. I'm sorry. You have problems. You need to get something checked out. So it's wild. You look after the Panthers game. They lose or they beat the Raiders in a bogus flag call. Another win for the Chiefs. Man, Chiefs should be, realistically, if the referees don't intervene and crazy type of plays don't happen where it's just like working in the Chiefs' favor, man, Chiefs should have a record of 9-6, right? Or no, not even 9. Nope, let's go further. I would say the Chiefs would maybe even have probably an 8-4 record. And that's me being generous. I would say maybe an 8-4 record for what they've been putting out this season and how good they've actually been playing without the help of the referees. So wild there. My thing too with the Chiefs is, obviously, I know they're a playoff team. They haven't been looking spectacular. I personally haven't seen the Chiefs play a game this season and been like, damn, the Chiefs, they're playing some good football. They look good. The Chiefs, they're going to the Super Bowl because of how good they look. That's not been the case at all. Any team in the AFC can indeed give them a run for the money right now. You put the Steelers against them. You put the Ravens, who've been fairly inconsistent. Maybe they have a shot. You put the Bills against them right now. The Bills have been playing remarkable. So a lot of other teams in the AFC can give them a shot, give them a run. But I really think the root of the problem for the Kansas City Chiefs is that they've been playing to the level of their competition. So whenever they're playing a bad team or a team that's playing sloppy, that's who they began to mimic. They start playing bad. They start throwing interceptions. They start getting silly flags. And then all of a sudden we get to the end of the game and the referees are deciding the games for us in the Chiefs' favor, which nobody wants to see right now. So to me, it is crazy. But I think for a team like the Chiefs, who are used to playing in February every single year for the past 3-4 years, regular season gets a little boring. That's why they get so sloppy. That's why they are as sloppy as they look on a week-to-week basis. But we know we can't ever count the Chiefs out because of how good they look in the playoffs. Playoffs, this is a completely different team. All of a sudden, they're locked in, no penalties. They're blowing teams out. Like, they're strategic. It's scary. It's scary. It's nasty. I hate it, but I love it at the same time. I love to watch this type of dominance. I just wish it wasn't dominance that was decided by bogus flag calls or zebras, meaning the referees. So that's that part. But no, again, man, I appreciate you for calling in. I thought that was a very interesting take there. And, you know, I did pose a question on the social. I'm like, who could beat the Chiefs? You know, who's the team to really like knock out the Chiefs in the playoffs? And that's a great answer there. Anyone can because they've been getting lucky. They've been getting fluke. So I 1,000% agree with you. We got one last voicemail here. Let's go ahead and play it. Let's see what he's talking about. Let's do it.
Dwayne, you need to chill out on the Lions and talk shit about the Lions, bro. We the best team in the league. We got the best.
You're not on the team.
We got the. You make me mad. We got the best.
You not.
Hey, chill out, bro. We got the best.
I got the best what? Damn, man. Come on, man. Yeah, y'all got the best what, bro? You can't even say what y'all got the best about. Damn, man. Come on. Look, I'm all for everybody calling up here, but look, get it together, bro. Keep the room quiet and stuff. You talk about you the best. I'm trying to hear what you got the best of, bro. Let's hear it. All right, damn. Now I gotta go back to where you was, because you don't know how to keep your rest of your Lions fans down. This is why I say some Lions fans can be wild and ignorant too, man. So, you know, I'm all for enjoying it. Your team has been bad forever. You're finally good. You're not used to winning, which is normal for a lot of teams in the NFL. So you act out. I get that. That's what makes the season fun. But damn it, hey, you call up here, bro. You got to be ready. Come on. Come with the facts. Come with the information. Come on with it, bro. Let's do it.
Hey, chill out, bro. We got the best
Come on.
point differential out of any team.
Best point, okay.
We got the best running back core. We got the best receiving core. We have the best QB in the league. So y'all need to chill about we ain't play nobody good. We play every team. The Bills not gonna win. The Packers not gonna beat us. Jordan Love sucks. So does Josh Allen. So you need to chill on that, twin. My name's Jeff too. Before I stand on shit about the line. Have a good day.
My boy Jeff. Hey, Jeff, appreciate you calling, of course. I'm glad you finally got to your info. I needed to hear what you was trying to say the Lions was the best about. But no, Jeff, look, bro, you said a couple different things. You said best point differential. I can let that slide. Best running back core. I can let that slide. Best quarterback. That's just where I draw the line, bro. That's where I draw the line. Nah, Jared Goff, I'm on record saying, hey, Jared Goff needs to be in the MVP conversation, which I firmly believe he should be in the MVP conversation. But I can't let you sit here and say he's the best quarterback in the league. Hell no, we're not doing that when he got the best offensive line and one of the best running back duos in the NFL. Has Jared Goff been playing fairly good? Yes, he's been playing great, actually. But also, I still would not take Jared Goff over multiple quarterbacks in the league. Right now, give me Josh Allen. Right now, hell, give me Joe Burrow. I know he can't win a game right now, but Joe Burrow has been playing magnificent outside of his team losing every single week. Give me Lamar Jackson. Give me, I take a couple of different guys, man. Multiple people over Jared Goff right now. He's up there. If I had to choose 5 quarterbacks of possibly, taking over Jared Goff, I don't know. He may be in that 5 spot, but I can't let you get away with, him being a top 5 quarterback. Or I can't let you get away with him being the best quarterback in the NFL. Him being a top 5, different discussion for a different day. I stand on that. I also said that early on in the beginning of the season. But the one thing I do want to question here, you said Lions haven't been playing anybody good, that we've been making excuses about them not playing anybody. I want to clear the record because, sometimes I can say some things that's out of hand. And I know, I'm aware of myself. I'm a self-aware man. I know I can say some things that's out of pocket. Sometimes I get on here and get carried away. I get it. But I have never, this entire season, I've never said the Lions weren't a good team. I've never said that. If you've seen anything of me anywhere on any social media platform, on any audio listening platform, that was not me, sir. That was artificial intelligence. I have never said anything about the Lions being a bad team or not being a good team. Slightly overrated? Yes. Play bad some weeks? Yes. Inconsistent some weeks? Yes. I've said those things, but I've never been on here saying that, oh, nah, the Lions are a bad team. But anyway, let's speak about what you were saying. The Lions haven't played anybody. I kind of want to walk through this with you, and let's peel back a few layers. So one of the layers I want to talk about, let's just start from a recent week here against the Chicago Bears. Now, some people have been telling me, oh, Lions still the best team. They're not inconsistent. They're juggernauts of the NFC. They're juggernauts in the NFL, which I understand those arguments, but I'm just saying, every week the Lions show up to play, they're not showing up to play like they're an 11-1 team. That does not look like the 11-1 team that I think of whenever I see them play sometimes, because even in this matchup against the Bears, I get y'all took care of business. Y'all got to Caleb Williams. Y'all had some great defensive players, but let's all be honest here. Anyone who's watching the NFL, anyone who watched this game on Thanksgiving understands if the Bears did not have a dumbass at head coach in Eberflus that they finally fired, this is a different game. This is a completely different game. Because then you have the game at least going to overtime. And whether the Lions would have won, yeah, they probably would have won in overtime. I'm sure they would have, as a matter of fact. But it's just the fact that we would have been able to see what happens. Because as I remember, Caleb Williams was on the 1 yard line, 2 yard line on the final drive with limited time on the clock. And he got his team all the way down to an opportunity to kick a field goal. To me, that's I'm not saying the Lions are bad. I'm just saying that's something where, hey, you got to buckle down and lock in. You played against the Colts. You gave the Colts multiple chances of survival. Yeah, the score does not necessarily reflect that, but you gave the Colts multiple chances of survival. If Anthony Richardson was just a drop of consistent, then we would have seen a different outcome or possibly a different score for that game. But yet, the Colts have no offense, so they couldn't even get the ball downfield against the Lions. But even though they couldn't get the ball downfield, here's what we've seen. Big plays allowed from that Lions secondary. And then on top of that, I know the Lions had a bunch of injuries against the Colts, against the Bears game, which is valid. But still, the inconsistency is the one thing I'm talking about. I'm not saying anything about the Lions being a bad team. I'm just saying sometimes the team can be inconsistent. If the reason for that is the injuries, then so be it. It's the injuries. But a team being inconsistent doesn't change because of injuries or not. If they're inconsistent in an area or an aspect of the game, I think that's just something that comes with it. If your secondary or your third people, hell, I know Lions is even on some fourth and fifth strings and calling up anybody they can find. If they not coming in the game to play, that's an area that they're inconsistent in. We seen the Eagles, they've been strong. But the secondary, I mean, hey, Lions secondary has been kind of giving up big plays all season. That's been an aspect where it's been a bit shaky. And yet, those two guys at safety, Branch and Joseph, have been healthy. So what are we really talking about? That's all I'm going to say, man. I ain't never said the Lions was bad. I just said sometimes they can be inconsistent. And I still stand on that statement. Just the same way you stand on business, I stand on business too, bro. So, hey, I appreciate you calling, of course. Anyone who heard something they disagree with, they like, they dislike, they want to just jump in on a conversation, go ahead, shoot us a call. 219-413-9405. All right, look, man, we got some more stuff coming up, some news for the run, then we're going to wrap up. But you got to hear some of this news happening in college football and also in the NFL. Some big things happening. Playoff spots are getting clinched. Playoff berths are here. We're at that point in the season. So stay tuned. We'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, man, so let's get into it. It's the last week of college football for some people. Some teams have played their last college football game, so we'll jump into it. But, man, let's start off with news for the run with college football. Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Man, was a crazy duel. It went to 8 overtimes. No exaggeration. Literally went to 8 overtimes. They were going back to back. This was kind of considered just a certified classic, an immediate classic as soon as the game ended. Georgia did end up winning that game. They were ranked number 7 prior to this, so they desperately needed to win if they wanted any aspirations of being ranked in the top 4 or possibly still making the playoffs. So they ended up beating Georgia Tech 44-42. Boise State played Oregon State, and Boise State got the dub. They won 34-18. Ole Miss beat Mississippi State 26-14. Colorado, man, they put the beat down on Oklahoma State. Man, they won that 52-0, left Oklahoma State on a goose egg. Washington, they played Oregon. They fell short against Oregon. Oregon won 49-21. Oregon has been dominant. They've been the number 1 seed for probably about 3-4 weeks now. So they've been killing it, man. Texas played Texas A&M. Was another solid game here. Texas ended up winning 17-7. This was the number 3 ranked team in the country right now. So, I mean, they pretty much secured their spot in the top 4. Another huge, big-time rivalry game. Michigan versus Ohio State. Oh, wild. It was a crazy week for college football. Michigan ended up winning 13-10. They beat Ohio State. Wild. Ohio State was ranked number 2 in the country. Michigan was unranked. They weren't even ranked top 25, but yet they still beat their rivals, and they won 13-10. It was actually kind of a crazy game. When I'm watching, it was just wild because the first half was 10-10. Both teams were tied, and the only points in the second half was the Michigan field goal that gave them the win at the end of the game, 13-10. Crazy. All right, another big game here that was huge. Penn State, they were ranked number 4 in this matchup. They played Maryland, an unranked team. If they would have lost to Maryland, then they would have been probably out of the playoffs, potentially. But they ended up smacking up Maryland 44-7. Notre Dame, they beat USC 49-35. Syracuse, they ended up beating Miami. Another big game here. Miami was ranked number 6 in the country. 6th in the country. If they would have won, who knows where they would be ranked? Possibly top 4, possibly top 5. You just don't know. But they lost to Syracuse. And man, it's wild. They ended up losing 42-38. So now we don't know where Miami is going to end up in the rankings. Tennessee, another huge matchup. They played Vanderbilt and they won 36-23. Indiana, they beat Purdue. Damn it, they tried to make a case for being a playoff team against Purdue. We know they lost against Ohio State. It wasn't really that close. Indiana, but they played Purdue and they put up 66 points on Purdue and left Purdue on a goose egg, 0. Oh, it was just nasty, man. So South Carolina, Clemson, another big time rivalry game. Clemson ended up falling short, losing this game to South Carolina, 17-14. Auburn, Alabama, another big-time rivalry game. Alabama won 28-14. Thank God they finally took care of business when they needed to do it most. They were ranked number 13 going into this game, so potentially they might have secured a playoff spot being a top 12 team, which is just ridiculous for Alabama, but I guess you could call some of us Bama fans spoiled. I mean, that's just, usually we're used to being top 4, top 5 at worst, but man, things have changed. Apparently, things have changed. Apparently not too much. I hope not too much. Anyway, some more schools, man. A lot more. Illinois, they played Northwestern. They beat Northwestern 38-28. This is an Illinois rival in the state of Illinois, but Illinois, they're ranked number 23, so they took care of business. Maybe they move up. Maybe they stay where they are. Anyway, Missouri, they play Arkansas. They beat Arkansas 28-21. You had Arizona State, another rivalry within the state, play Arizona. Big time game. Arizona State put the brakes. I mean, they beat the brakes off of them boys. Beat the brakes off of them. They couldn't stop running away. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, Arizona State, they won 49-7. And Iowa State and Kansas State was also another ranked match. That was solid. Iowa State ended up winning. They were the higher ranked team, being ranked number 18, and Kansas State being ranked number 24. But they ended up winning 29-21, and it was solid, man. It was a crazy game. But I don't know if the rankings even dropped. I think they come out tomorrow to give like an updated version of the rankings. But man, it was just wild for college football. So yeah, right now the top 5 of what we see. AP, again, I think it's the most updated. I think it's the most recent, but I would just say double check whenever you listen just to be 100% certain. Actually, I know this is updated. I just found it. I know it's updated. What we see, AP top 25. Oregon is at number 1. Texas is at number 2. Penn State, number 3. Notre Dame at number 4. Georgia, number 5. They moved up a little bit, which is crazy. Tennessee, number 6. But Ohio State, who is the number 3 team in the country, and number 2 team, they moved all the way down to number 7. So crazy work from Ohio State there, dropping in the rankings. Indiana moved up. Alabama secured a playoff spot, being a top 12 team. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Miami, they're at 14 now, so they don't even get the playoff spot because they lost. They dropped down 6 spots. Crazy work there by the AP poll, man. Wow. South Carolina moved up. Arizona State moved up. Boise State moved up 1 point or one slot. SMU moved up. Crazy. All right, look, so we got some NFL stuff too. Don't want to stay too much on the college football, but man, some crazy good matchups coming up actually this week too, which I'll touch on. The game does start on Friday. Playoff games, conference championships start Friday, so you want to keep an eye out for that. We'll try our best to make sure we get the episodes out on Thursday to give you the matchups and all of that stuff of who to expect to watch this weekend, the rankings, all of that stuff, the conference championships, all of that, man. It's going to be good. Even though it's already set, Georgia, Texas, Penn State, Oregon for big, man, it's going to be good. I'm going to wait because I keep talking about it all day, and we got more news to cover. So NFL, here's what we got in the NFL. To start off with some news, man, the Buffalo Bills have officially won the AFC East after defeating the San Francisco 49ers in prime time. They won 35-10, and not only did this secure the division, but this win also locked in a guaranteed playoff spot for the Buffalo Bills. Now, we'll only know if they're the number 1 seed when they play the Chiefs. They can give the Chiefs a loss, and what else happens through the rest of the season. But 49ers are also in the news, man. They suffered another huge loss in a game against the Bills on Sunday night. Star running back Christian McCaffrey went down with a PCL injury, which is his knee. If you don't know what PCL is, I didn't, so it's okay if you don't. But it's said that he's going to potentially miss the rest of the NFL season due to this injury. Now, personally, I feel like Christian McCaffrey came back a little too early anyway. Like, man, he was rushing it. There was just new update after new update saying that McCaffrey's injury is worse than what we actually thought it was initially. So I'm not sure, man. I hate that this happened for him, but this is tough, man. This is just tough. Anyway, the New York Jets are in the news, quarterbacks specifically, but Aaron Rodgers, man, he's rumored to leave the Jets next season, but despite being a 41-year-old quarterback in the NFL, he still hopes to play another season, just not with the New York Jets. So wild there, but let's go ahead and give some scores of what was going on in the NFL, man. Definitely a dope week. I thought it was cool. As you know, for the Thanksgiving Day games, it was quite a few of them. And what we seen on Thanksgiving Day, we saw the Lions, they played the Chicago Bears, and that was a great matchup, but the Bears ended up winning, or the Bears ended up losing that game. Man, they had a chance to win, or had a chance to send it to overtime, but just didn't go their way. Lions won 23-20. The Bears did fire Eberflus after this game. They waited a little bit, and then they let head coach Eberflus go. So if you was diehard Chicago Bears, you love this move, that they finally moved on from their head coach. Giants and the Cowboys played on Thanksgiving as well. Cowboys won that 27-20. Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins played. It was cold in Green Bay, so you know the Dolphins didn't win that game. Packers ended up winning 30-17. Then Friday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs, they took care of business against the Raiders. Then you had Sunday Night Football, Chargers, they beat my Atlanta Falcons 17-13. The Steelers, they played the Bengals. They won over the Bengals 44-38. Cardinals, they fell short to the Vikings by 1 point, 23-22. Colts, they beat the Patriots. Seahawks, they smacked up the Jets. Commanders beat the Titans. Texans, they won their game against the Jaguars, even though they tried to really kill Trevor Lawrence, which was wild. The Rams, they ended up beating the Saints 21-14. Buccaneers, they beat the Panthers in overtime, which was a really close game. Now the Buccaneers are tied for first in the NFC South. I hate to admit it, considering my Falcons are in the NFC South, but hey, they've been balling. They've been taking care of business. They got Mike Evans back, and man, they look good. They took care of business in this division rival. Eagles, last night, they had a game against the Ravens, which was a huge matchup. Some people may call it a test for them, but it was no big test for them because they ended up beating the Ravens 24-19, and they held the Ravens actually to 12 points, but the score is going to manipulate that just a little bit and show that last little touchdown that the Ravens got in garbage minutes and garbage time when everybody knew the game was over. But anyway, the Buffalo Bills, they played the 49ers in prime time and they ended up winning that game 35-10. And then later on tonight, you can expect the Monday Night Football game with the Cleveland Browns versus the Denver Broncos. It's going to be a crazy matchup. I don't know, man. I'm going to just leave y'all with this because this game is actually about to come on in a minute. We didn't get to record as early as we would like to on Monday, but I'm going to tell you some of this, man. Usually, when I drop the bets on here, I really don't know the results of all of them that I drop on here. I really, truthfully, I don't even remember which ones I dropped on here. That's the crazy part. But I was going to read off some of them, but I'm not even going to worry about it because if you, I put it this way. If you want me to read off the bets, maybe you listen before the game, let me know. I'm not going to, until then, I'm going to pick and choose. I'm going to be like the Lions, mad inconsistent about it until I choose that I want to do it. All right, look, I'm going to leave y'all with this positive note. The positive note today is just going to be take care of yourself, man. Simple, take care of yourself. Make sure you give yourself leeway. Make sure you lock in whatever routine you need to do to keep your focus, to keep your consistency intact. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of a lot of other people. You make sure everybody else is straight, but take care of yourself. I'm gonna leave you with that. Other than that, man, look, share this with a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, a friend, a spouse, anyone you know who enjoys sports. Other than that, man, follow us on Instagram at The Run Podcast. You can follow my personal as well at I am Manny Wilson, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff is the same at The Run Podcast, YouTube, The Run Podcast. If you watch the videos, that's dope too. Of course, I appreciate that. But that's all we got for y'all, man. So we'll be back later on next week or this week, later on this week, and so on and so on and so on.